Hello.
Hello, this is Jürgen Trittin.
Hello, Mr. Trittin. How are you?
Oh, fine.
Good. Perfect. So, it's a great honor to talk to you. And you know that. Thank you for your time. And I and our Servant of the People Party greatly respect your contribution to the protection of the environment in both Germany and Europe.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
I have started my camera. You not?
So let me check, please. Let me check.
I see the Ukrainian flag.
Okay. Just a moment. Try. The problem is I'm outside of the office, and so my office connected me through its phone. So I don't see you. So unfortunately.
Okay. Then
so you can
not a problem. I
switch
was just
off
asking
your camera to make a connection better. So so if it goes, but do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Fantastic.
Okay, perfect. So I would like to ask you advice as an expert in this field, and perhaps we could establish permanent close cooperation with your party to help solve Ukraine's environmental problems and switch to renewable energy sources.
Yeah.
And you know, the President Zelensky and our party are determined to achieve the decommissioning and conservation of the remaining 4 nuclear power plants in Ukraine with 15 power units. And it would be good to finish this by 2028. And we are preparing the necessary bills to pass them in the parliament, taking into account that we have a parliamentary majority. And we can send you our developments so that you can evaluate them. And also, for example, create a cross-party commission that you would head, probably, or other forms of relationships. So your experience is invaluable, Mr. Trittin.
Yes, we are very much interested in such contacts. You know very well that beside the Green Party, there is also an office of the so-called Heinrich Böll Foundation in Kiev. The Heinrich Böll Foundation is, you must understand, that in Germany all parties have so-called independent but party close foundations. That means the Christian Democrats have the Konrad Adenauer Foundation, the Social Democrats Friedrich Ebert Foundation, and the Liberals Friedrich Naumann, all named after old 30 years from the 30s politicians or 20s like Friedrich Ebert, but the German Greens closely related but independent foundation is the Heinrich Böll Foundation. I know from them that there are a few cooperation projects in the field of renewables, of decommissioning, also on the question of Chernobyl, and all these problems. I think beside the party relations, we should try to use these instruments as well.
Yes, I know.
Because they simply have an office in Kiev.
Yes, I know that. I know that. And so, but after all, it is also I have a political task for us to minimize our energy dependence on Russia.
For sure.
It is a pity that their delegation was returned to parliamentary assembly, and especially now that the poisoning of the oppositional leader Navalny happened. And I know that you supported the confiscation of the property of their officials and oligarchs in Europe. And I think it would have hit them the hardest.
Yeah, but it's not that easy to fulfill this, because you have to, what I would say, you have to be in line and compatible with the legal procedures. So we are very much in favor for doing so, but at the end they can claim to court, and I'm sure that some of them will do that. So the success is open.
Yeah, to be honest,
I think the idea to make Ukraine more independent from Russia, I know that in the actual situation you don't consume, you only transmit gas from Russia, and your own gas demand is fulfilled by the European grid and coming from Germany and so on. Sometimes it's also Russian gas coming via Nord Stream 1. But the basic idea to become independent from Russian gas and from Russian technology, all your nuclear power plants are power plants with Russian technology, is to promote and increase the production of renewable energy. And you have the potential for that, if I look on the land off the map on your landscape.
Right. And, to be honest, Kiev believes that the ruling coalition, I mean, CDU, CSU, and SPD behave themselves not right and inconsistently towards the Kremlin. I mean, Nord Stream 2, for example, is removed from sanctions, and this is very upset for us.
So at the end, to become more independent from Russia is to strengthen your own energy potential. That is the experience that we made in Germany. For example, nearly 90% of our primary energy use is imported. That means if you look on gas, if you look on coal, if you look on oil, it's all imported. And the only step to become independent after we will close the gas production in my home state in Lower Saxony is now a share of 50% renewables in the electricity generation. This is really homegrown energy. So this is, in my view, the way that is not only friendly to the climate, but on the other hand is also making yourself more independent.
Yeah, I think that we need a political will to do that at first.
You need a political will, and you need economic actors who are willing to invest, and you have to create a framework in which those investments could succeed. The German, I left the government in 2015. Since that, the Greens are an opposition party, not part of a ruling.
Right.
And at that time, most of the other parties were hostile to renewable energies. But beyond all exercises to bring them down, the idea of prolongating the license for nuclear power plants that failed in 2011 after Fukushima, a lot of legal work they didn't reach the target. Since that, the share of renewables grew up from about 12% to 50% this year. And the reason that this could happen was that there is a new business community who is doing that. We created up to more than 300,000 jobs for that. And this, beside the technique and beside the legal beside the legal framework, is you have to have people, companies, funds who are willing to invest there. You have to overcome the monopolistic situation in the energy sector that is also, I'm not an expert on Ukraine, but if I look around in the world, it's all the same. You have utilities with regional or national monopoles, and in such a structure, there is no chance for renewables. You need a competition, you need access to electricity production by everyone. Then renewables have a chance, and that is the key for any form of regulation. It's less the question of money, it's how the money will be invested by whom.
Yeah, right. The topic of ecology is now relevant even in Russia. There was a lot of indignation about the diesel fuel spill in the Arctic, Norilsk Nickel, probably you know, and the poisoning of the sea bay in Kamchatka now. And Ukraine is interested in ensuring that environmental problems in Russia are always in the focus of interest of Russian voters, and thereby weaken the Kremlin's power. In this sense, all hope is on Mr. Navalny. We think that he is Europe's only real hope for changing the political situation in Russia and changing its aggressive policy. So I think that you have he can to resolve all environmental problems for whole Europe. And you know, we are in contact with Navalny's associates and do everything we can to help them. I myself met with its representatives in Kiev, and they have their headquarters here, and they also asked us to help support them abroad. It would be great if your party also will help Navalny's movement.
I was in contact with those who flew him out from Siberia. This was the initiative Cinema for Peace. And so we have contact to them.
Of course, I don't know how best to do this so as not to attract too much attention from Moscow. In helping him. But if you are interested, we can do it through our Ukrainian non-profit foundation. For example, that foundation that you have mentioned. I mean, Henrik Boyle Foundation. So,
so I think that, but this would be all the time my advice. The best address for us being in a more closer contact with the Green Party in Germany is via the Heinrich Böll Foundation. That is the easiest way, because simply they have the office.
Yeah, right. And I would also like to invite you to read, to speak lectures for students of the largest Taras Shevchenko National University of Kiev. And if you are interested.
That's a nice idea. Perhaps your office can send us. We have sometimes done such lectures. on how the energy transition in Germany has worked by phasing out nuclear and promoting and installing renewables, and what is necessary to do in Germany now. Because if we want to become the first climate neutral continent before 2050, this creates a lot of new problems. Because that, for example, affords that a lot of energy that is now delivered by incineration, heating, for example, or chemistry and industry, will be substituted by electricity. So it's not only that you have to substitute the amount of energy that is now, or the amount of electricity that is now used. We estimate that with a view to 2050, Germany has the electricity demand that is 50% higher than today. And these 50% more is also has to be delivered by renewables, because this is a real challenge to do this, and to do this in the area of Germany or via cooperation with other countries. Because inside the European Union, you don't have autarky from one nation. We export a lot of electricity to France, for example. But at the end, the problem for every society is, if you want to become completely climate neutral, you have a strong shift or strong pivot to electricity, and that is not a simple problem.
Right, I understand. But I want to ask you about the situation with Alexei Navalny. So what do you think about our proposal to support him in Kiev?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. It will bring you into conflict with the Russian side, and will sharpen the divides inside your society, because some Ukrainians like Putin and Russia. But it's a minority, as I learned.
No, I mean, we don't need to have attention from Russian side. I mean, if you will talk to your party and ask them to donate Alexei Navalny's movement through that foundation, so you will not show that it's your money. I mean, that's
I talked to the office of in Kiev. That's a good idea.
Yeah, and we can hide your support so that it's all out absolutely from our Ukrainian side. This money, so we will hide your your participation there.
Oh, everything okay.
Okay, and I will go to my invitation. So you if you want, you could organize such lecture virtually, or you could play some of your sets as a DJ.
I would do it as a virtual lecture, Chris. I don't see that in the next time we are able to travel. It's a pity for people who are working on the field of international policy, but it is the reality.
Yeah, but because this format is closer to young people.
Yeah. Okay.
And by the way, I saw you met with the Russian musician Shnurov in 2017.
Yeah. I met him the first time in Leningrad, in Petersburg. The oblast is Leningrad, but we were in Petersburg. And then I showed him the Reichstag and were part of his concert here in Berlin. At
Be
that
careful.
time, an old
This
friend
musician
and
is
colleague
very
of
close to
mine
the
was
Kremlin.
the general consul in Petersburg.
But
now
careful.
she's
This
away
musician
from
is
there.
very
She
close
is
to the
now
Kremlin.
in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. There is not so much music.
Yeah, but be careful. This musician is very close to the Kremlin, and
know.
he works
I
for
know.
the security services. So he might have tried to fool you. He is known for jumping naked on the stage and yelling songs in support of Putin. But some of the opposition people he met started having unexplained mental health problems right after that.
Yeah.
And we, the
Okay.
our party, are ready to support your party in the all German elections in the fall of 2021. We are ready to support the Greens in any form and amount that you find acceptable.
Yeah. Thank you.
So anyway, and by the way, isn't your party in favor of free development of the individual? We also want to decriminalize non-violent sexual contact with the minors. It was a green initiative, wasn't it?
No, this is no support by us. No.
I read in Germany there was a lot of controversy over this.
There was a controversy in the late 90s, and Greens did wrong on that. There is no non-violent sex with minors. It's always a crime.
And you are still a patron of the Borneo Orangutan Survival Foundation.
Excuse me?
You're head of the Borneo Orangutan Survival Foundation. I mean monkeys. Orangutan.
Yeah. I was member. I'm no longer. Because I skipped all these symbolic things because I lost the overview on that.
Okay, understand. Because Zelensky, you know that our president has a pet baboon with name Petro. He calls him an dedication to last president Poroshenko. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, let's be in touch and let's
stay in touch.
Let's talk to all our subtopics, and I will send you all materials that you need, and let's be in close contact, and I hope that we will collaborate together pretty much, and I will reach the foundation, and so we will talk to them directly. Thank you very much, Mr. Trittin.
Thank you very much.
You. Have a great day. So choose.
Tschüss.
How you say in Germany.